Hey, it's time for Flames Unfiltered Shorts. I'm Burud from Flames Unfiltered Hockey Podcast, which you can check out once a week. Calgary Flames Hockey Talk every single week, and we got a great Flames Unfiltered short tonight. Big news today. Shocked, I don't know, the hockey world in a way. I know I was excited when my phone exploded today with texts, tweets, all kinds of things as a big trade takes place. Tyler Toffoli of the Montreal Canadiens heads to Calgary. Calgary, in return, gives up a first-round pick this year, a fifth-round pick in 2023, I believe. Emil Heineman, which we got in the Sam Bennett trade from Florida, a fairly decent prospect. And Tyler Pitlick, who, I don't know. I was always a Tyler Pitlick fan. I feel kind of bad for him. I think he got at the short end of the stick. A difficult year in Calgary, a year that he expected bigger results, we did too, and a year he dealt with a lot of injury, and that's unfortunate. And I wish him the best in Montreal. I think he's a hard worker. He busted his ass when he played for this team, just not the results that he wanted or the organization or the fans wanted for that matter. My initial thoughts of the trade, I was excited. Tyler Toffoli along with Thomas Hertl were my two guys that I really wanted to go after. Toffoli probably more so because he had a little bit of term there, and term at a great value. I think that's really important. We're not losing him after this year. Maybe makes it a little trickier with the Gaudreau Tkachuk signing, but a couple different ways to look at that, and we'll probably check that out on the main podcast as we talk about this acquisition. Initial thoughts beyond that, what is this? This does so much for our roster. He's going to fit in very, very well. So the big question was, well, where do you put him in the lineup? I don't think you mess with Lindholm, Tkachuk, Gaudreau. I think that would be silly. I'd probably pencil in next to Backlund and Mangiapane. Move Coleman down to the third with Dubé and Monahan. I've seen all kinds of different situations where Toffoli's with Coleman and Backlund. I've seen all kinds of different second or third line situations where it'll fit in. It sounds like he will be in the lineup against Columbus on Tuesday evening. We'll see if that works out depending on flights and what Coach Sutter wants to do. And I don't see them messing with the top two lines right now with the way this team's rolling. But look at what this gives us. We wanted a scoring right winger. We got it. This makes a solid fourth line in Ruzicka, Lucic, and Lewis. Moves Richie out. If I was coaching, he would be the guy that would be the guy out man in this whole deal. But man, this just gives us so much more depth, gives us so much more scoring. Maybe he'll get Sean Monahan going. I don't know. But I look at it as a swap for Richie for Toffoli in the lineup, and that's crazy good change-up. The return, we did not have to give very much. Pitlick, somewhat irrelevant for the team this year. We knew we were going to have to get a first for this. Do I like giving up first? No, but have we done it a lot in the past? No. If you look at past history, we haven't given a lot of firsts up. It's a safe trade. And it's a trade that right now on paper it looks as though Calgary wins. Now, you never know. Things happen. Trades really work out in the 3 to 5 year term. We win a Stanley Cup this year, it works. How often does that happen? Not very often. But this sends a message. It sends a message to the fans. It sends a message to the players, and it sends a message from the organization that they like where this team's at. They believe in this team. And they expect this team to really, really go a long ways this year. What kind of a player are we getting into Toffoli? A responsible, two-way, goal-scoring winger that can play both sides, that we don't have to worry about defensively, and will consistently put in 20 goals. He's played 76 playoff games, 2 cups in LA, 39 playoff points, 16 of them as goals. He's had great runs in the recent future with Montreal and a 7-game run with Vancouver in which he's had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Last year in the Cup run for the Canadians in 22 games, he had 14 points, 5 goals, 9 assists. He's a big body. He handles his own. He's not a guy that Sutter's going to have to worry about. And I'll tell you what, is this guy going to fit in? Is there a situation in the league where someone would fit in better than this? Sutter coached him in LA. He played with Lucic, Lewis, Richardson in LA. His best friend is Milan Lucic. His family, his wife's, they're friends. They go on trips together. They hang out together. That sounds great. He played with Markstrom and Tanev in Vancouver. And Sean Monahan, that was his roommate in juniors when they were in Ottawa. This is a pretty damn good fit. Does it always work out when it's on paper? No. But you know what? I look at things as like cost reward. And what we paid for the reward that we can get, whew, I'm loving every minute of this. His cap hit for 2 more years after this is going to be 4.25. Very manageable. We'll see how this affects the Gaudreau, Tkachuk signings. It takes some money away, but not really in the fact that we were going to have roster positions filled there anyways. I do not see a downside to this. I like his future in Calgary. He's excited to come to Calgary. He wants to play for the Calgary Flames. He believes in this team too. And he's got a great group of friends on this team. And this team is a tight locker room. And everybody's like, ooh, I don't know. Do we want to disrupt everything in the locker room? I don't know that this is a major disruption. Maybe for a guy who slips out of the lineup it is. But as a whole, everybody in the room's got to be excited that Tyler Toffoli's stepping into their room tomorrow night and possibly suiting up. The upside's huge. This is a move that everybody's been screaming for. Toffoli along with Hertl were my main targets. That's all I've thought about is going after those 2 guys. I don't even think Calgary's done. We maybe add a depth defenseman. I'm not a big Ben Sherrod. I don't think that's the way to go. A Cale Yarncroc, I've talked about that before as a depth winger. I like his fit. I like his style. I think he would be a great addition. And boy, you put all that together and you look at this team on paper, it's got experience, it's got a winning pedigree, it's got everything we want. It's got responsible forwards, and heck, we worried about scoring before the season started. Doesn't look like it's been a problem, has it? This team is really, really clicking, and it looks to be getting better and better and better. And I couldn't be more happy that Tyler Toffoli is now a Calgary Flame. I do know one thing. There's a lot of people on Flames Twitter that owe Brad Treliving an apology. Screaming and yelling at him for never making the move. Well, he made the move. And this team looks really good.